They were taking care of business wire to wire against these Trailblazers. Most points in a Spurs playoff debut, 32 by Tim Duncan in 1990. That in mind. Wemby with the rebound, working baseline to baseline. The third-year pro making his playoff debut, shaking Denny Avdia, who had 30 points for the Blazers. He led Portland in scoring. Look at the Admiral and the big fundamental. 7 NBA titles between the two. The Hall of Famers. Wemby certainly on his way, receiving the oop from Dylan Harper. Spurs go up 9, 2 to play in the first half. Man, it's not fair.
Come on, man. No.
Falling away, out of bounds, hits the triple, 21 points in the first half. Most in the player's first career playoff half in the play-by-play era. Spurs up 10 at the break. Wemby in the paint. Double team, triple team, don't matter.
Going hard.
You heard the whistle.
Going hard.
Spurs up 20. Next possession. The lead is 18. Scratch that. It's 21. De'Aaron Fox had 17 points. Devin Vassell had 15. Steph Castle had 17. The Spurs were 15 to 33 from 3. Off the glass. Big fundamental style with him in attendance. The multi-time MVP, 5-time champ. There he is. The Spurs get the win, 111-98. Here's Wemby after his playoff debut.
The first time I stepped on the court, even for warm-ups, I felt the atmosphere was different. Everybody's ready. I mean, the fans were ready. It's probably the most excited I've seen this area.
I'm sitting here watching the 8th game of the weekend on Sunday night, and I'm wondering how many games are we going to be watching Victor Wembanyama in the spring play in the playoffs going forward. I feel like that was the first of a great many.
Hopefully a lot. Oh, you're talking about over the course of his career or this year?
Both, I guess. And, you know, I always remember in the gold medal game in Paris that it was the first. I can't remember if it was the first possession of the game or it was France's first possession. But Victor comes down and hits a 3 right out of the gate, like basically making the statement, I am not afraid of this moment. And the second 20 seconds in, I don't know if it was the first or second possession, immediately goes to the basket in this game, has a 12-point first quarter. Definitely was looking to shoot. He did hit a couple of threes, but I thought tried to play inside out. De'Aaron Fox said that he thought the team, he's got a little bit more experience than most of the guys. He said he thought the team had jitters, but I don't think number one had jitters. And so he, in his first playoff game, puts up 21 points in the first half, which is where the Spurs basically grabbed control. I know that the Blazers came back in the second half on him, but and by the way, Denny Avdia had 11 points in the first quarter himself. I think he took 9 shots in the first quarter. Like Denny was trying to do the same thing in his first playoff game. I don't want to disregard that.
The game was tied in the third quarter. I mean, Victor was unbelievable, but where the Spurs won the game was with Victor on the bench. Like they blew the game open with Devin Vassell knocking down a bunch of threes in the third quarter, and they were +9 in the game, and they were double digits plus with Victor on the bench for basically the whole game. If we're consistently talking about the Spurs winning the non-Victor minutes in these playoffs, there's going to be do you want to ask how many games they're going to be talking about the Spurs? We're talking about the Spurs a lot this spring, if that's the case. Like
Luke Cornett earned his money tonight in 14 minutes.
Yes, he did. If you're losing those minutes and you're playing the Spurs, you're in a lot of trouble.
Like Wemby, I mean, if you want to put Tamani Kamara on him, which they did a lot, then he'll go down low and dominate in the paint. If you want to put Donovan Clingan, he's going to take him out to the perimeter, and Clingan is lost out there. And there's not a traditional big that I can think of that could guard Wemby if he's going to be knocking down threes. And he was 5 of 6 today.
Yeah, he had only 5 rebounds and 1 assist and 4 turnovers. It was not a command performance in his normal all-around game, but he had 35 points on 21 shots in his first playoff game.
Right. I mean, he played great, and it was a great shot-making game, right? He didn't do a lot of the other stuff. And I actually think that the Blazers did a pretty good job in this game. Like, they could not hit perimeter shots. They went 10 for 28 from 3. Obviously, they're going to have to get
10 for 38.
Or 10 for 38, I'm sorry. Shot 26%. Like, obviously, they've got to hit, like we talked about when Stats made his bold prediction the other day. They've got to. They're going to get up a lot of threes. They've got to hit a lot of threes.
In his first playoff game, played very well, I thought.
It was good. Like I mean, Portland was hanging in the game, and I thought, I mean, they were competitive through large portions of the game. And if the Spurs aren't scalding hot from three, like, you know, that's a really interesting game. Now, obviously, I think series is probably going 5 games, but you know, like, it was a great start for Victor, and it was a good start for this young team. But you know, Stephon Castle struggled hitting shots. That's going to be something, like we've talked about, to watch going forward in the playoffs.
You know what? They put Klingon on him some, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, dude, shoot the ball. If Klingon's gonna be down there at the free throw line, and you've got the ball at the top of the arc, let it go.
Well, this is why I've talked about that for the last month. Like, it's one thing to say, oh, the guy's hitting 35% of his threes, and again, I love Stephon Castle. I think he's great, but it's another thing when you're in the playoffs and you have Donovan Klingon standing below the free throw line, daring you to shoot the ball, right? So, like, and he went 4 for 13 from the field, and he went 1 for 5 from 3.
He did get 8 free throws. He did look for aggression.
Yes, he's going to make an impact on the game, obviously. Like, he's a good player, but that, you know, that's, if the Spurs are winning the non-Victor minutes and they're shooting 45% from 3, they're not losing very many games. And
if they're one of the non-Victor minutes, period, because I'm here to tell you, they will win the vast majority of the Victor minutes.
Well, but that's what I was going to say. Those
they
dovetail
won the Victor
together
minutes tonight too.
I know.
Just wasn't.
Yes, he was +4 in 35 minutes, and they were +9 in the other 11. Like that. That's what I mean. Like that, and again, that dovetail with Devin Vassell knocking down a bunch of threes, and you know, if the Spurs can have 2 or 3 guys hot in a game from 3. That might be enough. Tonight they had 2. Victor and Vassell combined to go 9 for 15 from 3. Like, you know, that if they have 2 guys do something close to that on a regular basis, plus Victor being awesome, that's a pretty good formula to be winning a lot of playoff games.
All right, before we turn to the games that are going to be a Monday night, I thought we should just get your opinion real quick on what happened in Boston today. Bontemps.
Do we have to talk about that again?
Very quickly.
I mean, I could talk about it really fast. I mean, the Sixers, if they're going to be competitive in the series, Maxey has to be the best. Tyrese Maxey has to be the best player. He was not. They have to get up a ton of threes. They were 2 for 16 from 3 in the first half, and they took 5 in the competitive portion of the second half and made 1 or 2. They were 4 for 21 from 3 in the first 42 minutes of the game. Like, that is an impossible, forgetting even the 4, like, Nick Nurse after the game was like, we have to get up more threes. And I think once they started to miss shots, they turned down open shots, but like, that's the whole story. Like, Boston played great. Jason Tatum was awesome. The Celtics dominated from start to finish, but the only thing to talk about is if Philadelphia wants to make this a competitive series of any kind,